Hello everyone, I'm Arunima from Knit and Otter, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the moss stitch. It is also called the linen stitch and the granite stitch, and I really like this stitch because it's very easy to make. It creates beautiful fabrics. You can vary your hook size and create fabric with beautiful drape as well. For this video I'm going to use this yarn and go with a 5mm hook with it. It's worsted weight yarn, and so this might not be as drapey, but if you use a larger hook it will create a very drapey fabric. And this stitch works with any kind of yarn. I've used it with different weight yarns. I've used it with starting with fingering all the way till bulky weight yarn, and it looks great in everything. So let's get started. I have a foundation row of single crochet stitches. It does not have to be single crochet stitches, it could be anything, but just for this video I have single crochet stitches, and I'm going to show you how to make the moss stitch on top of this. So I started with an odd number of stitches in this row, and I'm going to now, so this is the foundation row. I'm going to turn around, and so to make the first stitch, it's just I'm going to make a single crochet in that first space there, so just like a regular single crochet, and then I'm going to chain one and skip that next stitch and then make a single crochet in the next one, and then chain one and then skip the next one and then single crochet in that next one, and then chain one and skip and single crochet in the next, chain, skip, single crochet in the next, chain, skip, single crochet. I'm going to keep doing this all the way till the end. And you will need an odd number of stitches in your base row to be able to make this effectively, because you need a space and a single crochet stitch. It's a repeat of single crochet and chain. So if you look at this, it's not very easy to see, but here I have a single crochet, and then there is this chain space, and then there's a single crochet, and there's a chain space. So there are this fabric is not very dense because there are a bunch of chain spaces, and it's also very easy to make because we'll be working the next row in those spaces. So you always start with a single crochet. So I'm going to make my first single crochet in that first stitch over there, and then that is just the beginning of that row. So for the rest of the row, except for the first and last stitches, every stitch, every single crochet will sit on top of a chain, and every chain will sit on top of a single crochet. So you start with a single crochet in this chain space here. So it's very easy to make also because you have to insert your hook in chain spaces and not in actual stitches. So it's very easy to find that chain space from the previous row. So that's where I made my single crochet stitch. Now I chain one, so this chain one is sitting on top of the single crochet from the previous row, and now I'm going to make a single crochet in this next chain space. So I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, single crochet, and then chain. So this is just a repeat pattern of single crochets and chains, and I'm just making single crochets at the beginning and the end of this swatch. So just keep going, chain, single crochet, chain, single crochet in the chain space. So you'll see that for any project where you want to do mindless crochet, where you don't want to think about it, this is a great idea to use this stitch, because you don't really have to know where you are as long as you're making your single crochet stitches on top of your chains and your chains on top of your single crochets. So for the last stitch now, again I'm going to end it with a single crochet on top of that last single crochet. There, that's how it looks. and I'm going to make one more row so you can see what I'm doing again. So another chain, single crochet in that first one, and then now there's a single crochet here, so I'm going to chain, and I'm going to go in that next chain space and make a single crochet stitch, and then chain and single crochet, chain, single crochet, chain, single crochet, chain, single crochet, chain, single crochet, and then chain. And now there are these two single crochet stitches that sit together, so I'm going to skip this one because I just made my chain, and then I'm going to end it with a single crochet. So this essentially becomes a 2-row repeat, just because the single crochet stitches are sitting on top of chains. So that's the reason that because they're offset a little bit, we have to make sure that we have the right number of we start with the right stitch. We start with a single crochet on one and we start with a chain on the other. That is assuming that you're making single crochets in the first and the last stitch. So as long as you know that you need to make single crochets on top of chains and chains on top of single crochets, that's pretty much all that there is to this pattern. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will see you in my other tutorials. Bye bye.